Hey gang, here I am working on my pull list for November 2020. All the things I will be buying about a month and a half from now. We've already done videos on Marvel, Dark Horse, Image, then a video combining IDW, Boom, and Dynamite. Now we're working on kind of everything else. So if you want to know what comic books I'm buying from all of the smaller companies, or which ones I think are so bad that I'm going to take time to point out to you how awful I think they are, well then, this is the video for you. So hey, stick around. Hey there, Bubby. Welcome to Shanghala. My name is Duke, and this is a pull list episode going through the previous catalog, deciding what I'm going to be buying in November 2020. The advance solicitations. Yes, that's how comic books work. We decide, us fans, about a month and a half, 2 months before the book actually comes out, whether or not we are going to commit to buying it. I've already done videos, as I noted, on most of the companies except DC. The DC catalog is digital only, so I've got to kind of figure out what I'm going to do there. But now we're going to go through the bulk of the catalog. And I'm going to go through this. I apologize in advance, but I'm going to go through this real quick. And I may not, well, I know I'm not going to mention everything because there's just so much. And I want to keep these videos kind of short. I keep saying that, but all of these pull list videos have run 20, 30 minutes. And I think a new channel like mine, people aren't really going to watch a video that runs much more than 10 minutes. And of course, the other thing too is why spend time talking about stuff that probably very few of you will have any interest in anyway. So if you like this video, please like, share, subscribe, do all of that. If you hate anything I say, go ahead and give me a thumbs down. That's good too, because anything that will sort of clue the algorithm into the fact that I actually exist, that this channel is a thing, might help it grow. So, monetize your haters, I guess is what they say. So go ahead and hate, say all the mean, nasty things in the comments section that you want. Give me a thumbs down. Share the video with all your friends to tell them how awful I am. That would be just fine. Just don't walk away doing nothing. All right, let's go through this pretty quickly. Ablaze Comics, and most of these publishers in this section, they're publishing maybe 5 or 6 titles or fewer. And basically everything's front-loaded in the A's. The strategy, the conventional wisdom for decades has been you need your company to start with an A, your company name, so that you're at the front of the catalog. And then pretty much after that, it doesn't matter. So it'll take us a while to get through the A's, and then everything else will just zip through because the rest of it's garbage. Pretty much. I mean, not everything, but you know. So Ablaze, some of this stuff, I have no idea what it is, what it's about. Grumpy Cat, I mean, that's a comic book. I would think Grumpy Cat is kind of over. Plus, isn't the cat dead at this point? But who's paying $20 for a Grumpy Cat book? I have no idea. Somebody is, I bet. Here's something I hate the Previews is doing now. They include the books and the magazines in with the comics. I don't know why they did that. I don't know what the philosophy or strategy was. To me, as somebody who goes through this catalog, it's a pain in the ass. I don't like it. I wonder if it boosted their sales at all by doing that. But anyway, I don't like it. Marvel value stamps of visual history. That's kind of interesting, but I don't know if it's $25 interesting. Now here's something. Terry Moore. I've been a big fan of Terry Moore for a long time, since the Antarctic press run of Strangers in Paradise, like the first 3-issue miniseries. The problem with Terry Moore is his stuff has got to be pretty repetitive. It's all kind of the same female protagonist. It's like, Terry, why don't you shake it up? Why don't you have have a dude be your central figure next time? And the thing with this is he is following this this trend. A lot of people are doing this, where they're moving out of the floppies and moving into graphic novels. So his new thing is a graphic novel. And as I've said in these videos before, I buy the floppies, right? And so in order to add in an $18 graphic novel, I'm going to have to cut out 6 or 7 books from my pull list. So are there 6, 7, even 5 or 4 books that I don't want to buy anymore that I'm going to cut just so I can get this? You know, it's a lot easier if you're putting out one new book and maybe there's one book that I'm willing to drop, or maybe one book that just ended, you know, or something like that. That's an easier swap. But to have to cut out 4, 5, 6, 7 books to get your new graphic novel, that's a bit of a harder sell. So right now, this book, Ever the Way Out original graphic novel, that's kind of on my maybe list. I'm not putting it on my pull list. Now, the problem is my comic book store, my local shop, will not order this at all. If it's not on my pull list, I know it's not going to get any copies for the shelves. So though the only chance I have of ever getting this is pre-ordering it. So I have to decide if I've got room in the budget to do that or not. So right now it's on my maybe list. Once I get the full pull list done, I'll have to decide if that's something I want to get. And again, it might not be, just because I feel like a Terry Moore book, I'm just going to be reading the same thing I've been reading from him for the past decade, you know. So there. I'm sorry, Terry. I mean, I love you. I do, man. But I don't know what new you're going to be bringing to the table at $18 to interest me. All right, Action Lab. I don't know anything about that. Let's move on. Zombie Tramp. Well, I guess if that's your thing. And I don't get the previous catalog. Like a lot of them, you've got, you know, if I can get here, you've got just the listings, okay, like this. And some have the listing and an ad, but there are some companies like Aftershock whose ads are the listing. I don't know why that is. Did they buy this space? I would rather see the catalog just be the listings, and if the company wants to buy some additional ad space, let them do that. But it would be a lot easier to read to me as a catalog if it was, you know, if everything was kind of the same. Because the problem is, from one company to the next, the layouts are so different that, and some of them, as we will see, are just eyesores. So, Keiju Score 1 from Aftershock, and you kind of read this, and it's about the same kind of ne'er-do-well character who has to make good. And it's like, I feel like I've read that story a zillion times. This book, I almost put this on my pre-order list. Miskatonic. And the reason I almost ordered it is it looked kind of cool. This reminded me a lot of the Sandman Mystery Theater series set during the 20s. Or it reminded me, I can't think of the name of it off the top of my head. There's a show, it's been out for 2 or 3 seasons, and I even forget which streaming platform it's been on. I think it's on Prime, Amazon Prime. It's actually a German show, but it's set in Berlin during the 1920s. And there's a woman who rises from kind of a secretary to be a detective. But she kind of does it in fits and starts. It's realistic. She's not a Mary Sue. And of course, as I read through this, you know, all about, you know, what's going on, and these horrors reach a breaking point when the brilliant, hard-nosed investigator Miranda Keller. So it's like, I feel like it's going to be a Mary Sue. And so what eventually killed it for me was these 3 pages of preview art, which just don't look very good and look very decompressed. I mean, if this art was the interior of the book, I might have gone for it. But I'm afraid that it's going to be just a Mary Sue and not much to read for $4. So, close, Aftershock. You almost had me. Red Atlantis #1. Don't know much there, but it doesn't look that intriguing. And here's the rest of the Aftershocks, and those are books already kind of in progress. nothing there that I've jumped onto. Now, I do love the Goon. Eric Powell is, I don't want to say he's like a god to me, but he's at least a demigod. He's a minor deity. So the Goon is definitely on my pull list. And also Grumble, Memphis and Beyond, The Infinite. That's not Eric Powell, but I did try that just because it was his company. Hillbilly I'll get because that is Eric Powell. So there's 3 things right there that are on my pull list. Tank Girl, not so much. Never really been into Tank Girl. Over here, Ahoy Comics. I have been buying Penultimate Man, or I did pre-order the first issue. This is number 2. That's largely because of Tom Peyer. I'm a big Legion of Superheroes fan. I've got some goodwill left over for Tom from his run in the 90s on the reboot era of the Legion, which I mostly enjoyed. Really enjoyed at the beginning. It kind of petered out there towards the end. And then there's this. Peter Milligan. So maybe it's going to be good. Maybe it's going to be incomprehensible. You know, Peter runs kind of hot and cold for me. The story, in future America, being happy isn't just a right, it's the law. While the Joy Police brutally enforce the Cheery Code, 2 young people go on the run, searching for a haven of melancholy where they can safely bask in the blues. So, I wonder if this is going to be like goth porn. But the other thing, too, I'm a little afraid. I don't know how woke Peter Milligan is. I'm afraid this is going to be like, the government is going to be made out to be like, there's going to be some like Donald Trump stand-in in charge. I don't know. When we looked at things like 1984 and its analogies and current day America, I see it a lot more in the progressives than I do in the conservatives or in the Trumps. I'm a lot more afraid of Black Lives Matter, irrespective, got nothing to do with black or white, just what they've been doing. I'm a lot more afraid of what they and the progressives are doing to this country than anything Donald Trump has or could possibly do. So I guess in that sense, I'm Comicsgate, right? I probably lean a little closer to Ethan Van Sciver's worldview than Mark Waid's. But I don't know. Anyway, the point is, I hemmed and hawed over this book, and I finally decided I'll try it because I figure, okay, what the hell? If it's awful, I'll get a nasty review out of it. That I can post to YouTube and maybe get some hits, because that's the kind of thing that YouTube responds to. Okay, I was talking about how awful some of these layouts are. The American mythology layouts, it looks like some ambitious 14-year-old got a hold of Word and was commissioned to do their layouts. And Titan, we'll see here in a minute, Titan is just as bad. The Laurel and Hardy book, American mythology does some decent, would seem like fun licensed characters, but nothing I've tried for them has been worth $4. I mean, this Laurel and Hardy book will read in under 5 minutes. I can almost guarantee it. It's not worth $4. And then these limited covers for $9.99. Like, who's that stupid? The Land That Time Forgot? I don't know. If that was Land of the Lost, if somebody was licensing the Sid and Marty Krofft characters, I'd be all over that book. Especially with Frank Cho. If it was Frank Cho doing Land of the Lost, that would be okay with me. But there's nothing here from American mythology that jumps out at me. Breast as big as her head, so if that's your thing. I don't know much about, what is that, Antarctic. Again, books mixed in with the comic books. I don't know why Diamond is doing that now. I don't like it. There's another book about animation. We talked earlier about a comic book about animation, which seemed weird. Rudolph the Reindeer from Arcana. Probably doing that because they can't do the Rankin Bass, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. But again, you've heard me say NBC Universal. I don't know why they don't come out with a Universal Comics group, because here's somebody honing in on what would be their natural market, their niche, their brand. They own the Rankin Bass Studios productions. They could put out, using those iterations of the characters, Santa Claus and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer comics, and probably sell a ton of them. But they don't. Archie, Sabrina, I think I got the first couple issues, and then, I think this 5-issue series of Sabrina, I think, started about 5 years ago. That's what it feels like. I'm not even going to get that, because I just fell off. It got so late, I just fell off the train. Archie, I don't know why they can't find anybody who can actually draw the Archie characters anymore. That looks like some junior high schoolers, attempt to reproduce Archie art on their the kids still do they still do book covers? Do they still have to wrap their school books in paper bags? I don't know. We had to do that when I was a kid. You use paper grocery bags, and you made a book cover for your school textbook. I don't know if they still do that, but that looks like something that would be drawn on one of those by the kid. All right. And our Avatar Press just want you to know that they're still stymied by the pandemic many months later. So that's their excuse for not putting anything out. That's kind of an interesting cover, Year Zero, Volume 2, Number 1. Well, I never got into Number 1. It's a zombie thing. So, I'm kind of over zombies. I'm all Walking Deaded out, frankly. And I was over The Walking Dead, the episode where they snuck into that radio tower and murdered everybody in cold blood. I'm like, okay, I'm over these people. These are not heroes that I want to follow anymore. So that's a cool cover, but I'm not into zombies. American Ronin, don't know what that's about. Bad Mother, interesting cover, but I don't know. And again, if you see something here that I zip past, leave a comment below on why you think I should be ordering it. We're pretty much past, I think, anything that I would be ordering. Captain Canuck, because I'm from Maine, Captain Canuck just speaks to me because we've been dealing with Canucks, tourists from Quebec for, all my life. But I don't know if I'm going to buy the Captain Canuck book, especially not $5 for 32 pages. No, thank you. Here's some woke Trump derangement syndrome stuff going on, if that's your thing. If that is your thing, it's not my thing. The League of Super Feminists with this awful crude art. That's a book guaranteed to make the New Yorker's list of the 10 best comic books of 2020. You wait and see. But that's clue one. It's not for me. Fantagraphics. Ooh, look at that. The Complete Hate. I'd buy that if I had $120. But I can't fit a $20 graphic novel into my budget. Certainly can't fit in $120. That would be my entire monthly budget right there. Pogo's kind of the same thing. I'd like some Pogo books, but what are you going to do? Can't afford everything. Let's see. I don't even know what's going on here. Overstreet 50. I haven't bought an Overstreet guide for many years. The company that I work for, the owners are, advisors to the Overstreet guide. They have a column in there. I might go ahead and buy the 50th. I think my first Overstreet guide was the 10th volume, and I bought it every year for maybe 25 years. But like I said, I haven't got an Overstreet for many years now. I don't know what any of this is. I don't know what any of that is. I don't even want to talk about it. It's just nothing there. But if you see something, but again, it's the freaking books are mixed in with the comics. That's nasty. It's a nice drawing, but it's nasty. I skipped a page. I don't think it matters. It doesn't matter. Nothing going on. Nothing going on. Written by Zepp. Zepp is his name. Okay. The Yellow Kid. Hully G. It's the Yellow Kid. That is kind of not on model, but I don't think it needs to be. I think the Yellow Kid is public domain by now. So you can not only use the likeness, you can use the name. Be interesting to see what that's all about. It says writer Richard Fenton Occult, but I tend to doubt that. Don't know. Oni Press. Yeah, some woke stuff. Now here's a book. I mean, the art is charming, and I'm sure this is all, friendship is magic, and minorities are awesome, which they are. I'm not saying they're not. But this isn't for me. I'm glad it exists, that it's out there for those people that it is for. Less enthused about some of this stuff. Rick and Morty. I missed the boat on Rick and Morty. One of these days, I'm going to do like I'm doing now with South Park, where I'm kind of binging all 23 seasons, because I think I watched like the first couple of seasons of South Park, and then I just never had time, never set a VCR, didn't have a DVR. So I am now binging South Park. I kind of put it on autoplay while I'm at work or grading comics, and have it playing in the background. I'm probably going to do that with Rick and Morty here. That'll be the next thing I do when South Park is done. Books. No actual comics that I see. Maybe that's why Diamond did it, because there just aren't enough comic books to fill the comic book section. So they add in all of the books, prose and graphic novels. There's nothing here that I'm seeing that's jumping out at me that I even feel the need to comment on. It's just all just kind of there. So I sort of pity you if you are a comic book store owner. Like, what is it like for you going through one of these things and trying to decide what to buy, what to stock in your store, especially knowing that you're stuck with it if you don't sell it? So again, here I was talking earlier about the layouts of some of these companies, and again, Titan just makes my eyes hurt. I can't even look at their solicitations. It's just so busy, and I don't know. Cutting Edge, the Siren Song. It's kind of interesting art here, but it doesn't really tell me anything about what it's about. And when I see these 3 previous pages, the art looks pretty good, but I've got really no idea what it's about. Oh, brought together by a clandestine corporation, the world's greatest scientists, artists, and entrepreneurs must unite to solve a mystery of epic proportions. Well, it still doesn't really tell me anything other than that it's kind of The Boys, it's Vought. So I don't know. It's like, should I try it? Well, here's the thing. $6. It's 48 pages, granted. But for $6, I just don't see me fitting that into my budget, in case it's not any good. And again, so if you get that, please do post a review. Let me know, because I know that if I don't pre-order it, my store is not going to get it at all. So I'd be interested if you do get that. Post a review. I'd like to know if maybe I should have got it. So here are tomorrow's. I always kind of look at these because I like these magazines, but at just $10, they just don't seem like they're worth it anymore. It's just kind of too much. Occasionally I will get one when there's something in them, and it's usually when there's some Legion of Superheroes content, because it just, as a Legion completist, it kills me to have anything out there with Legion content that I don't own. So, but this one is all about Sid Shores, and it's like, okay, but what is that going to tell me that I can't find on Wikipedia? And back issue is kind of the same thing. It's all about Bronze Age, and sometimes they'll give a little behind the scenes information that's new to me, but mostly those articles are telling me things I already know. So, and I think that's going to be pretty much it. Pretty much it. Valiant. How much longer do you think Valiant's going to be around? I haven't been buying any of these books, and I probably won't, just because of, the hell's her name? I can't even think of her name. The editor, who's so woke and so awful. I guess it's a good thing I forgot her name. Someone comment below. Tell me who I'm thinking of. I just remember she's a horrible person. She's blocked me. She blocked me on Twitter. That's how horrible she is. Vault. I don't know. Are any of you buying any Vault books? I don't see anything there that's really like, yeah, I gotta have it. And where are we now? These look very 90s. Very 90s independent books. And now we're into manga, and manga doesn't do it for me at all. So, and it's weird. It's weird. Diamond broke out a separate section for manga comics, but then mixed all of the books and magazines in with the regular comics. All right. Well, anyway, that's it. I still got a DC breakdown to post. But beyond that, that's pretty much it for the pull list for November. So I hope you enjoyed some of that, listening to me rant and complain. Until the next video, goodbye, good luck, and please be good to each other.